Welcome to Trout Unlimited Ridgefield High School. Since November 12th, we have been studying and caring for our classroom trout from the embryo until the small fingerling stage. This video will demonstrate what we have learned from this experience and how Ridgefield High School remains proud of their student dedication to scientific tasks and assignments.
The Trout Unlimited program relates tremendously well to our curriculum in that it corresponds with the environmental themes and practices we have been adapting all year. We learned how fragile a species of fish may be and the sensitivity of their ecosystem. A vital component of our year in the AP Environmental Science course was learning and appreciating water quality. This environmental theme relates to our trout project because managing the contents and quality of the tank water was extremely imperative to the trout's survival.
The classroom tank was managed entirely by students. Although the teachers oversaw what went on, all of the tests and procedures were performed solely by students. This allowed for a truly hands-on activity and allowed all the students to get involved in the study of the trout.
Setting up the tank was the first stage in our preparation for the trout. We sterilized the tank and filled it with water, which we then chilled to around 45 degrees. This temperature had to be as stable as possible for the success of the trout population. We began testing the water quality even before the arrival of the trout to practice our skills and gain precision in working with the tank. We insulated the tank with pink foam to save energy and create less work for the chilling.
Once the trout were introduced, they were placed in a small netted cube in the upper right corner of the tank. It was here that they spent 6 weeks of their life cycle as embryos and furthermore sac fry.
One of the many procedures was the water change, which involved 2 students who used a tube to create a siphon into the sink from the surface of the tank water. This water was then replaced with fresh, clean water to avoid a buildup of organic matter.
Alright, both get the tube nice and deep. Ross, get it in there, yep, that's nice.
There's an air bubble.
Make sure there's no air bubbles. Like I said, the power of the vacuum. Oh, that's cold. Let's see, the water's at 42.9 degrees Fahrenheit right now. Very cold. Very cold. Alright. Oh, it's so cold. Alright, then I just release.
When the trout first hatched, they did not need a food supply because they were still dependent on the yolk that was in their embryonic sac. However, when they developed into sac fry, they were dependent on the fish meal which we provided them daily.
And I will be feeding the fish today. First, you take your dish, put it on the scale, and then zero the scale. Then you add the right amount of food, which for us was 0.2 grams. Perfect. Then you take your 0.2 grams of food and you sprinkle it into the tank for the trout to eat.
We fed them 4 times a day, and the amount increased as they developed and grew larger. We used a net and a turkey baster to remove fecal matter and dead trout. We performed water quality tests such as nitrates, nitrites, ammonia, pH, and temperature. All of our data was recorded daily in our trout log, located directly next to the tank.
An extremely interesting addition to our trout population this year was a mutated trout which developed with 2 heads. We named him Simon and Garfunkel, and although he died shortly after release from the netted cube, it was exciting for our class to monitor his progress and follow his development. We were extremely lucky to have a fish with this rare genetic mutation as a part of our trout family.
When our class took a trip to the Norwalk River in early April as a part of the Project Search program, where students assess the quality of rivers around Connecticut and submit their data to the state, it was an occasion for the final stage of our trout project. We released the fish into the Norwalk River in a series of 4 separate trips, releasing a few trout at a time. They swam away, happily arriving in their new ecosystem.
Thank you for watching our presentation of our experience with Trout Unlimited. On behalf of Ridgefield High School students, we appreciate the opportunity to care for and observe the development of this fascinating species, allowing us to be the first-hand witnesses of development of life. We look forward to this opportunity again in the future.